OneLap's one of my favorite events, hands down, in the year. It's completely unique to itself. There's nothing else like it. A season of racing, if you will, wrapped up in the week. A different racetrack every day. We do oval tracks, we do road courses.
OneLap, it's anything can happen. It's just a very long race. You can do everything from hit an animal on the road to the car can break to anything can happen.
As from a shop standpoint, you have to have a car that you can beat on it 10 tenths for a week-long event and not have a single mechanical failure or issue or any type of possible problem, because that would just be a DNF, and a DNF would mean you don't win.
It's definitely a stressful time for the whole shop, even months before, 2-3 months before, and just figuring out exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to make the car fast, and then how we're, honestly, as a small business, how we're going to pay for all the things that we need to go out there to win.
In 2010, we showed it with a Porsche GT2, and we won every road course event. 2011, we had a pretty dominant car, did a great job, won every road course event, and took home the championship and won the event outright overall. That was great, but the car, we felt like it could be better. TopSpeed and Doug especially knew some things that we could do to get the car to be better, more reliable, and faster. Couldn't ask for a better car to show up, and testing couldn't have gone better. So once we got to South Bend, we were feeling pretty confident. The GTR, the platform, is really a little bit better suited than the GT2, which is a manual and rear-wheel drive only. The all-wheel drive plus the paddle shifts of the GTR make it just a little bit easier to manage the car. We left the wet skid pad feeling pretty good about our result, and took a short trip down to the South Bend Oval. It was only 30 minutes away. Really interesting little oval, kind of backwoods roots oval racing, really bumpy, really tight and small, walls on each side. So at the end of the first day, we were in the lead, and that is the first time we've done that, because usually we were trying to kind of make up for our 8th or 9th place wet skid pad finish. But we finished 3rd, so we were right there in the points from the get-go.
Obviously, the stress level goes down a little bit with each race that you win and with each points that you gain. But everybody in our shop understands that you don't win until it's over, especially in that race after 2-3 years now.
For us, it got interesting on the second day. We showed up to Mid-America. It was raining, and there was pools of water on the track. This is right near Tornado Alley, and OneLap happens to run on the same week as the most tornadoes touch ground of any week of the year. One thing we didn't know was the track didn't have any race gas. It's a track with a road course and a drag strip, so we figured they had race gas. Doug, being the incredible tuner that he is, we went out and made a map for the 91 octane.
Testing, making changes, and then being able to see how they stack up against the competition, it's really, that's one of the best things to do.
And we ended up running 8 seconds quicker than anybody else did, and the other guys started to have a dry track, because we actually went out first and just kind of dried off the track for them. In the afternoon, we won again, and we had a long drive ahead of us, but just a great day. So we went on to Hallett, which is a track that I've been to before in the OneLap of America. It's a really fun track, elevation changes and some blind corners, and really technical, actually just a blast to drive. I really love that track. So we again finished first in both events.
There was 4 computers on in the shop the whole time, based on the fact that we got that live feed you know, so the main stereo in the shop was on with the, you know, anytime the live feed was going, and everybody in the shop was talking about, you know, what was going on while we were trying to get the work done.
Continued on to High Plains Raceway. High Plains is a new track that I'd never been to before. It's in Colorado, right east of Denver. A great track, not a tree in sight, but plenty of elevation changes and a pretty long track. It's fairly new track, and it's actually extremely low grip. It was pretty difficult for all the drivers. Actually, it was a little bit dusty in the morning, and this made it a little hairy for all these cars with, you know, 600, 700, 800 horsepower. So again, finished first in both events, and everything went according to plan. Went ahead and got race gas that night, and once again, you know, Doug did some calibration changes on the engine, and we were really, you know, on the ball. You know, the car plays such an important role, and having that tune just right for the elevation and for the octane and so many different variables each day is extremely important. That's something that's it's great to have Doug as my co-driver, and of course Doug does a lot of the work at TopSpeed Motorsports, and it's you know, I couldn't ask for anyone better. Then we had the autocross. And the autocross is nobody knows what's going to happen there, and this autocross was extremely tight. It's probably the tightest autocross I've ever seen. Nobody knows. And even the guys with the Miatas and the CRXs were complaining about how tight it was. So we kind of went out there and did the best we could. Not exactly sure how we were going to finish on that one, and we ended up winning it. So at that point, we were feeling pretty good. It's almost like we couldn't lose, but of course there's still a wall finish in that one, and we ended up winning it. So at that point, we were feeling pretty good. It's almost like we couldn't lose, but of course there's still a wall. So we showed up to Brainerd the next morning, got as much rest as we could, and you know, Brainerd is big, long track, and turn 1 is the fastest corner in the United States. It's absolutely incredibly fast. It's banked, and I gotta be honest, I didn't go through there. I'd never driven the track before, but I didn't go through there as fast as I could. On the third lap, I barely scrubbed the brakes, and this was well over 160 miles an hour, and went into the corner and got back on the throttle. So pretty fast, and it's on a map, it's about 90 degrees. That was a great track. We won again, and we ran the shorter course in the afternoon, and won that one again too. So at this point, I had to head to New Jersey for a Grand Am Rolex race. I was happy to do all the events I could, and I felt like we were in great shape. We had a good points lead, and then I handed the torch over to Doug, and I knew that he could get the job done.
I enjoy watching my guys have fun and go out there and reap the benefits of all the hard work. It's very important for me, especially with Doug. You know, he goes out there to win. He loves winning.
Yeah, I'm maybe a little too competitive.
His excitement, like a little kid, it's like, seriously, it's like a kid at Christmas. And to me, him being a good friend and my main guy here, it's just very rewarding to be able to see that.
We did the drag race later that night and won that, and then went on to do Road America. And the dry skid pad the day after that, and kind of, you know, brought it home for us, and brought it home for me. And we once again, we're OneLap champions, third year in a row.
We have a passion to build this industry. We have a passion to build the enthusiasts and the amount of enthusiasts out there racing. And a person that has a car that breaks every other time at the track is not going to continue to want to be in the industry and want to build faster cars and spend more money and enjoy the sport more. And that's just something we're so passionate about here. So going out with OneLap, proving that that car can go out there and do that race after race, taking the beating that it takes, and then come back here, get an oil change, and go to a track again, is something that we're just very excited about and something we strive for very hard. And we spend countless hours thinking about all of the things that could or will fail and all of the weak points in order to make sure that that doesn't happen during the race or for our customers in the end. So it's something we're extremely passionate about.